Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special 30th anniversary induction ceremony of the Canadian Mining Hall of Fame. For those who haven't been here for the last 16 years, my name is Pierre Lasson, and I'm very pleased to act as your master of ceremony for this very prestigious event. And what a crowd we have here tonight, over 1,200 people. Yes! I can feel the energy in this crowd. Thank you. The Canadian Mining Hall of Fame hosted its first dinner in January 1989. At the time, Ronald Reagan was President of the United States, Bob Hope was in Las Vegas, Johnny Cash was on tour, and Steve Jobs had just joined Pixar. Today, they're all gone. No Cash, no Jobs, and no Hope. Yeah. Now, in the believe or not category, that very week, and this will really surprise you, that very week of the first Canadian Mining Hall of Fame dinner, Donald Trump made the cover of Time magazine. Isn't that incredible? He even joked that one day he would run for president. And now the joke is on our American friends. They've been trumped. Now, one thing we all agree on is that he's the best thing that's ever happened to him. Now, when his Secretary of State called him a moron, he volunteered to take an IQ test. And later he tweeted that he tested positive. In a year-end interview, Trump claims that he's one of the most loved and respected president in U.S. history. The man is clearly what he thinks he is, stable genius. Now, 30 years ago, Justin Trudeau was in high school under the influence of Madonna's new hit song, Like a Prayer. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Justin was born on December 25th. So he's sort of always identified with the Messiah. And you know the little diddly in the song, Just Like a Prayer, you know I'll take you there? Well, as of July 1st of this year, his prayer will be answered. Justin is smoking hot and Canadians will be smoking pot. Now, just in the category of people don't change, young Trudeau did have a minor offense. He was caught with possession of less than 2 ounces of common sense. Now, roll back 30 years, the Dow Jones Industrial Average 30 years ago was 2,200 and gold 400. Today, gold is over 25, the Dow is over 25,500 and gold barely 1,300. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture? Can you feel the indifference? I don't know. The cold equities have been like the recent weather in Toronto in the deep freeze at minus 36% for the 5 years, and with the wind chill, minus 54%. Now, it's so cold, actually, the last 2 weeks that it reminded me of my first mother-in-law. May bless her soul. Now, it's so cold, it's been so cold that hell could actually freeze over and the Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup. Now, yeah, speaking of the Maple Leafs, okay, like, I had to get this one in. What do the Maple Leafs have in common with possums? They both play dead at home and get killed on the road. Now, 3 of our inductees are here tonight to receive their awards, and we're talking about Edie Thompson, Terry McGibbon, and Ross Beatty. And Inez Gannicott is here to accept the award for Bob. These esteemed gentlemen These esteemed gentlemen will join the 177 others who have been ushered into the pantheon of mining titans since our inception. See, the Trumpism are starting to get to me. Now, I really do feel very fortunate to have known and worked with all of these four gentlemen over the past 35 years. And I'll just say just a few words about each one of them, and then we'll get on with the ceremony. But first, I'll start with Ed. Ed, at least this is what it says right here on my text, is one of the greatest geologists Canada has never known. Now, I don't know who wrote this, but I'm not going to quibble with it. At Teck, when Ed was with Teck, he was known as Mr. Almost. He almost discovered island copper. And then he almost discovered Gibraltar. And finally, he almost discovered Kit Creek too, save that it was never there. Tonight, Ed, your name is you're finally going to be in the Mining Hall of Fame. And Terry McGibbon. Oh, Terry. Terry comes from an East Coast family with 8 brothers and sisters. They were so poor that all the boys slept in one bed. And when it got really cold, their mother just threw on another brother. He'll be the first one to admit that a huge part of his success he owes to his wife, Cynthia, the poor. When they built their last house, he lovingly gave her an unlimited budget. And in typical mining fashion, she exceeded it. He says he'd like to retire, but for now, he's got his head in the Arctic and both feet in the jungle. So he says if you average the temperature, he's perfect. Ross Beatty. Oh, my dear friend Ross. 2 words sums up Ross. Frugal nerd. Let me ask you, what kind of 8-year-old kid would ask Santa Claus for a rock hammer? And by the time he was 12 years old, he was asking for a blasting kit. His parents accepted him for what he was, a punishment from God. Today he's got 5 kids, couple dogs, motorcycle, and a wife who's a saint. Every night she lovingly offers 2 choices for dinner. Take it or leave it. Well, tonight you are going to take it, man. And Bob Gannicott, Mr. Perfectionist, champion of Canadian diamonds, avid hunter, lover of the great white north. He sure would have loved the temperature around here in the last couple of weeks. And Bob, he had one trait that I've always admired from him. He knew how to tie a bow tie. It was an art with him. He will be sadly missed. I have 2 other people I just want to briefly mention. We also have at our head table right here, Lucas Lundeen. Where's Lucas? He's somewhere. Lucas. He was honored last night by CIBC as their Mining Man of the Year. Yep. Lucas, through Lucara, is in the conflict-free diamond business. Well, that's until he gives some of them to his girlfriends. He's just back from the Galapagos, where he went swimming with sharks. He wanted to study his ancestry, you see? Well, I bet when the sharks saw him, they said, oh, no, not airplane food again. Now, we also have Kelvin Dushnitsky, president of Barrick, at the head table. Now, Kelvin, this may be fake news, okay? I don't know, but I've heard that Barrick is considering all options to increase shareholder value, including a name change. And the leading contender, I'm told, is Crypto Alibabaric Mining. It's got a nice ring to it, I tell you. It covers the territory, you know. Crypto Alibabaric Mining. Yeah, it's pretty good. And without further ado, allow me to introduce you to your head table, composed of amazingly tremendous, legendary leaders of the industry. There I go again with my Trumpism. Please hold your applause until the introductions are complete. Honored guests at the head table, please stand as I call your name and remain standing until everyone has been introduced. On my far right, to your left, Glenn Nolan, Jason Atu, Rosario Astulvilca, Rod Thomas, Don Lindsay, David Harquail, Kelvin Dushnitsky, John Basages, John Bianchini, Neen Alman, Bill Roscoe, Phil Baker, Jose Suarez, Lucas Lundin, Aaron Regent, Lisa Davis, Sofia Tsakos, Amar Aljundi, Patricia Dillon, Jason Neal, and Graham Farquharson. Ladies and gentlemen, your head table. And now I ask all our attendees to stand for our national anthem. And afterwards, please remain standing for a toast to Canada and our industry. Here's to our true north, strong and free, resource-rich Canada. There you Oh, heck, that's wine, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's all welcome geologist and communicator Neen Alman to the stage to say grace. Neen?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let us pause for a moment and reflect. Let us acknowledge that the building we are in stands on the traditional lands of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. Let us give thanks for our industry, its achievements and opportunities, the friendships it affords, and for the wherewithal it provides so we can enjoy an evening such as this. In words attributed to my fellow countryman, Robert Burns, and if you don't understand what I'm going to say, I suggest you ask for a translation from Matt Manson of Stornoway Diamonds, who's sitting over there. And with apologies to the vegetarians present. Some hae meat and canna eat, and some would eat that want it. But we hae meat and we can eat, and say the Lord be thanked. Amen.
Thank you, Neen. So, where the heck are we here? Oh, sorry about this. Thanks again to all of you. You can now sit down. It's all good. You're all ready. You're all set. I just want to remind you that just about 15 minutes before the end of dinner, I'll come back up and I will just tell you, you got 15 minutes for getting yourself, like, you know, all powdered up, back up and everything else. And then we'll start the induction ceremony, hopefully right on time, about 8:30. So before that, I would like also to warn you that there's going to be a few videos to thank our sponsors, because without them, there's no way we could have put on this great show for you tonight. And please just thank them in silence. You don't have to pray for them. And enjoy reconnecting, everyone, and bon appétit. Thank you very much.
The Canadian Mining Hall of Fame would like to thank this year's diamond sponsor, Hecla Mining Company. Hecla is the largest primary silver producer in the United States and the oldest precious metals mining company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And our VIP reception sponsor, SNC-Lavalin, who provides end-to-end world-class engineering and construction solutions to the mining industry. Thank you for your more than 20 years of support of the Canadian Mining Hall of Fame. We would also like to thank our dinner wine sponsor, Hatch. Hatch, a committed supporter of the Canadian Mining Hall of Fame since 2011, has delivered engineering expertise and technical support to the mining industry for over 60 years.